Saturday until the Friday. Between that, he was being tested by all the Pharisees. They were challenging, right? So he's being questioned and tested that he is blameless and sinless. So he goes through that already. He's cleared by the law of the Pharisees, and then he's being tried by the authorities.
The last group we had is 700 people.
700.
Not at the same time. Take a seat. The question is, where are we now? So look at this. You see the fortress?
Yes.
We are inside. You can't see now, but you will see. We are in the, actually, on top of this fortress right now. You all see the fortress? The fortress of the Antonia. Marcus Antonius. Mark Antony. Close to it there is a pool. The pool that you will be seeing tomorrow. The pool that is called the pool of Bethesda. Beit Chasda. The very pool, the proper word is Beit Chasda. The very place where Jesus is going to cure a lame. This is towards the end of his time in Jerusalem. Remember, he came to Jerusalem for his pilgrimage, actually for a week, Sunday to Sunday. He's having the Passover already, a place that we will see tomorrow, on Mount Zion, in the upper room, or what is also known as the room of Last Supper. He will go down to the Garden of Gethsemane, from the upper room down to the garden where you have been. In the garden, remember what happened? We talked about it. He was in agony. He knew what would happen to him. And the garden is also the place of the betrayal. Okay? From the garden, they will take him to face the Jewish court, the Sanhedrin court, in where it is the palace of Caiaphas, the high priest. Assuming you violated the law in Singapore, you did something bad. Are you going to be invited to the private home of the judge? Jesus was brought to the private home, palace, doesn't matter, of the high priest, which is not and was not the official house of law, even in his time. From this place, where he spent the Thursday night in the house of Caiaphas, the high priest, Thursday night, in the morning of the Friday, they will bring him to face the Roman court. There is a question, was it in the Antonia, whether was it in the Palace of Herod? It doesn't really matter, it's somewhere here in Jerusalem. Most probably where we are now, in the fortress of the Antonia, which was a place where the Roman army will be stationed. Who is in here? The Jews or the Roman? In other words, the people, I would say, on the payroll of the high priest. They are the people who will bring him here to face the Roman court. And now there is going to be a question addressed to the Roman governor. Remember his name? Because we saw a stone in Caesarea mentioning his name. His name was? Yeah. And now the question we brought, this man claimed to be the Son of God. Now let me ask you a question. Do you really think that the Roman governor have a way to understand the issue of being the Son of God? Yes, being the Son of God, or no being the Son of God? We, the Roman, have so many gods. One more, one less, who cares? You understand? To the Jews it's important, not to the Roman.
Yeah.
But what is important to the Roman? Law and order. Law and order. Don't forget that Jesus, when he came to the temple in Jerusalem, a place you will see tomorrow, he did something there. He was very unhappy of what he saw. What did he see there? Changing money. So let me ask you a question. Assuming tomorrow I'm coming to your church and I get permit to sell postcards within the property of the church, and somebody would like to come and tell me, get out of here. Is he just challenging me, or is challenging somebody else? He's challenging the authority of the people who gave me the permit to do what I do. Who is giving him the permission? The authority. meaning the high priest. Why do we need to change money? In other words, there was a need, otherwise it won't be there. The question is, what was the need? I want you to take a look at the coin. Take a look and tell me what is missing on the coin that you have on your coin. Something is missing. Something is not there. That you have on your coin, on the American coin, on the Canadian coin, on the Indonesian coin, a face, no image. Thou shalt have no images. So imagine you're a Jew and you live somewhere and you come for your pilgrimage and you have money that is actually minted by the governor, and you bring this money and you need to pay the tax to the temple. But the tax to the temple had to be paid with kosher money. Money that has no image. Who will do it for you? Who will do it for you? The money changer. In other words, they do their job. So why was he upset? After all, they do their job. They look at the coin. Why was he upset? People whom Jesus represents. Does he represent the wealthy people? He is the voice of the lower end of the social structure, of the rednecks, of the poor fishermen, of the poor farmers that came from the Galilee. So they can come to Jerusalem for the pilgrimage because they have to pay tax. The tax. Every income, 2 months. It takes time. A week to go, a week to stay, a week to come back. It's already another month. So a quarter of the year goes from the average person just to go to the temple. Can you imagine you're there and somebody is cheating you? Somebody takes advantage of you. Because it's easy to take advantage of those who are not educated. And most of the people who followed him were poor fishers. How would you feel about it? Angry. Now, he is not doing it in a forsaken village in the Galilee. He does it in the face of the high priest. There is a lot of people. It's like you drop stone in the water. You know the circle? You can hear the small voices. He came from the Galilee. Listen, I was told he did a miracle. He doesn't act like the high priest. They cheated my auntie. They cheated my sister. They cheated my friend. We must do something. Hello? Do you feel something here? What do you feel? There is an anger growing. Maybe revolution. Not only challenging life. If there is going to be any unrest in Jerusalem, which can influence the entire country, it is bad news to the Romans. Bad news to Rome. Can't collect money in time of revolt. You have to make sure it's quiet, it's peaceful. The Roman name for it, Pax Romana, peace according to Rome. So when the Jewish authorities come here to the Roman government, told him, you are not doing your job, you are not friend of Caesar. Hello, Rome, we have a problem. The version is an him, because if he cannot keep law and order, what is he doing here? He needs to keep law and order. Pontius is a saint. He is not a saint whatsoever. I'll tell you what Roman historian wrote about him. Roman, they wrote about Pontius, he was so cruel and vicious that the road between Jerusalem to Rome, was paved with crosses. Paved. What does it mean, paved with crosses? He crucified so many, you can make a road from the crosses. So when you think about it for a minute, Pontius understood something. This man, excuse me if I use that term, is a troublemaker. He is actually encouraging unrest, which can be out of control. If this will be out of control, I'm in a problem. So Pontius will not have a problem to order the crucifixion of someone he never knew. Not at all. He tried to take his hand out of the local politics, but he had no problem. And I want to ask you certain question. I'm still missing a point. It's okay. Have you all seen? Oh, okay. He's still. Question. Why crucify? What's the purpose of crucifixion? Let's kill the guy and that's it. Why do I need to crucify someone? Setting an example to others. Can you imagine that you see somebody walking in the streets of Jerusalem with the cross being, it's not a cross. Is there a way that I can only have the stick? What he did, he takes this like this, it's heavy, right? It's made of wood, and you walk like this. That's how you walk. You walk like this in the streets of Jerusalem with a heavy piece of wood on your shoulder. Only this, never the two, because this is already waiting in the side. It is waiting in Golgotha. Are you all with me? It is waiting in Golgotha. This vertical, you hook it with the horizontal one. Where do they put the next one? Only here. This cannot, this will never hold the weight of reality. Never. And the other nail you put here, right above your ankle, right here. See right here? How do we know it? Right here, by the way. How do we know? Here. Because we found a bone cross and the nail. They could not pull it out. We have it in the Israel Museum. They could not pull it out. They fell in with the nail. So it's here, and it's here, and it's here, and you're in this position. And you die because you suffer. You can't breathe, and it's not instant. People, it takes time. It takes time. 2 or 3 days on the cross. And people, excuse me, were begging to die. Okay, and the whole purpose of this is to scare the crowd. To scare the crowd. When you, as somebody who lives here, will see somebody walking in the street with a big wooden log like this, what do you say to yourself? I am not going to mess with the Romans. The whole idea of crucifixion is not to kill you. It is not to kill you. You will die. The whole idea is to make you suffer and to make the crowd be aware of it. That's the whole purpose. Okay, so Jesus, by the way, if you think about it, it's almost like a dream. He died the very same day. In a few hours later, before sunset. Before sunset. And because he was a Jew, there is a Jewish law. On a Friday, before Shabbat. Remember Sabbath? If you die, we have to bury you right away. Right away. But remember, it's a holiday. They're in a rush. They didn't give the body an appropriate treatment. And that is the reason. They will come back on a Sunday to give the body the appropriate treatment. And when they came on a Sunday, the stone was, and the tomb was empty. So don't forget, you are here not because of crucifixion. You are here because of resurrection. I'll tell you one thing which you should know. The Christian world, the Christian, happen to disagree. Where is the site of Golgotha? Catholic and Orthodox have the place, it's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. We make it and go by it every time. But people like you, we're going to take it to the garden. But I want you to be aware of the place. But I have a good friend, a pastor from Oklahoma. And that's what he says to me. He says to me, that to me meaning, he said, to me he said, it is not important. Because the tomb is empty. And he lives in my heart. Thank you.
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son to make a wretched treasure